Legislative aides to federal lawmakers have threatened to shut down the National Assembly if the allowances are not paid before Parliament resumes on September 25th. The legislative aides say they are being owed duty toll allowances for the last 3 years. But the National Assembly staff in the Department of Information told us that the matter will be brought to the attention of the Clerk of the National Assembly, who will attend to it and find a solution when the National Assembly reconvenes. That's on September 25th. Anyway, we spoke with the convener of the We Are AIDS Not Slaves movement, Tomori, to get more details.
The legislator employs the legislative aid, by writing the National Assembly Service Commission to say, oh, these are my aides. Each legislator, each senator and House of Rep member is entitled to 5 legislative aides. We have the senior legislative assistant, we have the legislative assistant 1, we have the legislative assistant 2, we have the personal assistant, then we have the secretaries. So statutorily, each member of the National Assembly is entitled to 5 legislative aides.
That is whether it's a senator or the House of Representatives,
yes,
member,
yes,
it's still the same.
Apart from principal officers that have the leeway to employ more aides, more specialized aides like special assistants, and special advisors, as the case may be. So each legislator writes the National Assembly Service Commission to say, these are my aides. These are people I'm going to work with in this capacity. And the National Assembly Service Commission does the shortlisting, the interview, and all that interview, then documentation. So at that point where you get your letter of appointment as a legislative aide, you get it from the National Assembly Service Commission. After your employment, after your letter, everything about your statutory dues are stated in the appointment letter. You have like a basic salary that is paid, like calculated annually. Then they also tell you that other allowances, according to civil service, public service rules, will also apply. You also get them, which is what the DTA, duty toll allowances, fall under. So you get your letter, and from then okay, and also trainings too, capacity building trainings quarterly are supposed to be part of your emolument and total package. Apart from that, you're also entitled to work tools, which are duly budgeted for, like the laptops, which has not been given to us in these 4 years. So basically, after you get a letter from the Service Commission, then the payment of your dues, entitlements, and every other thing is supposed to be taken care of by the National Assembly management.
So your salary structure is based on the civil service salary structure?
Yes, because I should think so, because we have a grade level, from the SLA to the secretary, there are grade levels. Like GL 14, 15 is for SLA, then LA 12, LA1, GL 12, LA2, LA2 like GL 10, thereabout, then personal assistant like GL 8, 9, then secretary is from GL 7 to 8, you understand? So it's structured, almost like a civil service, but I think public service too applies, because we are short-time appointees. Just like the president has presidential aides, the governor has aides, local government chairman, and so we are short-time appointees. Our tenure expires at the end of our principal's tenure. Okay. So that's how it is.
So there is this issue that of your allowances not being paid. There was a protest in the National Assembly.
Yes.
And we learned that people are protesting the non-payment of your allowances. Could you shed more light on this problem?
Not very much. The protest happened after we started the We Are AIDS Not Slaves movement, which I am the convener. And the protest that was organized yesterday was organized by the union, our union, led by, the chairman, Sam Melaye. So we, NASLAF, our union, NASLAF, they've been engaging with management and leadership aside, over the years. So it got to a point that AIDS felt that what they were doing was not yielding results, that we need to take our destiny in our hands if we are to get our emoluments, as the National Assembly is already rounding off. In the next couple of months, we'll be finishing the 8th Assembly. So we thought there should be a more radical approach, to support the union, to get our dues. So that's what gave birth to the We Are AIDS Not Slaves campaign on Twitter that we started last week, Wednesday. So when we started, we got taxi support from the NASLAV union. I need to say that because I need to be categorical that we are not working at cross purposes. We are working alongside NASLAV leadership led by Sam Milai. So we started the campaign and all that, and when the campaign gained momentum, the NASLAV leadership thought that, okay, they should also raise the tempo from their own side. And we are also fighting. This is also an extended fight for our full severance package. Severance package, are paid after 4 years, at the expiration of your tenure. Past experiences have shown, like our colleagues in the 7th Assembly were paid half severance package. The normal severance package should be 300% of your annual basic allowance, accumulated for the 4 years. But most times they should pay us. So we are also saying that we are using this campaign not only for the emoluments that we are getting, as we are leaving at the expiration of our tenure, that we must be paid the full severance package. So that formed the cross of our campaign and the protest.
Who is responsible for paying the aids? Is it the National Assembly management or the National Assembly leadership? In terms of the Senate and the Deputy Senate President, the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker, who is responsible?
The thing is, the National Assembly management is responsible for payment of not only legislative aids, but legislators, senators, and House of Reps. But we've seen that we've seen that the leadership it's just like the leadership is like the chairman of the National Assembly is Bukola Saraki. So if he says he needs money for something, he cannot call the CNA, and the CNA will say he won't be able to make the monies available. You understand? So what we are saying in essence is the National Assembly leadership, led by His Excellency Bukola Saraki, the Senate President, have control over the bureaucracy led by the CNA, clerk of the National Assembly. So we are holding the two of them responsible because we've been negotiating on both sides, and they keep tossing us up and down.
But prior to this time,
yes, please,
because you're getting your salaries,
yes,
your salaries are coming.
Yes,
who has been paying the salaries? Who is responsible?
National Assembly management,
okay,
pays it. Yes.
So it goes to, we can also say that it's a National Assembly management that is also owing.
Yes, please.
The emoluments.
Yes.
Has this been brought to the attention of the CNA?
Yes. We've had series of engagements. We didn't just come out like the public campaign we did that we started last week. The We Are AIDS Not Slaves movement is a climax of previous engagement, internal engagements. We wouldn't have come out if we've not exhausted all internal mechanisms to resolve this. We've not only been seeing the CNA, we've been trying to see the Senate President, the Speaker, and everything. I think it was when we started this campaign that it gave us audience. It gave the union audience.
Who? You're talking about
the Senate President. The Senate President. For the first time. I think most times he has always delegated to his Chief of Staff or other aides. But within the 48 hours of the movement last week, he gave our union an expedited audience. And he promised to, expedite action on it and look into our request. He accepted the formal demands from us and all that, and I promised to look into our request. But we've always heard that from the Senate President. Not today, not yesterday, not last year. Last year, June, 14 months ago, June 2017, we lost a colleague who died as a result of inability to pay medical bills. You understand? And that was when we started paying. We started the protest. We did our first protest within the precincts of the National Assembly. And the Senate President was there. We stormed the chamber, the entrance to the chamber when he was going to the chambers, and he had to stop. He and his entourage had to stop, and he said, what's the problem? He saw the placards and everything. He said, okay, he's going to look into it. We should talk to his Chief of Staff. We followed up and everything. Nothing happened. Nothing, little or nothing changed. So that's why now we said we have to take our destiny into our hands. We have to let the public bring our plight into the public domain and make sure that we use all legal efforts to make sure that our monies, our legal entitlements, are not used as slush funds for campaigns or for whatever purposes. So that's what led to the protest.
At the end of this ultimatum, what would happen if the emoluments are not paid?
Yeah, we have some strategies that I won't like to divulge publicly, but part of what we'll be doing is to write a formal petition to the anti-graft agencies to swing into action to unravel what is swallowing our legitimate budget, the AIDS budget, that is responsible for the non-payment of our entitlements. So we'll be writing that letter, and we'll be following up with a mass action, which might include a shutdown of the National Assembly on resumption. So among other steps that we're going to take.
Now, this is where we call it a day on this week's edition of The Gavel. If you have any views on any of the issues discussed, please email us on thegavel@channelstv.com. Thank you for staying with us, and see you again next week.